Kian, g'day. So what are the key takeaways?
Well, Joe, just to give you and viewers some context, this is the roughly 1,200 pages of budget goodness that we have spent the last couple of hours digging through. You don't have to get very far, though, to work out that these books are in very good shape. The WA government expecting a $3.5 billion surplus this year, $2.4 billion next year, largely driven by iron ore royalties, which continue to be higher than expected. They're up $1.5 billion in the coming financial year, and that GST deal with the Commonwealth, which is making up an increasing share of the state's revenue. Hanging over all of this, of course, though, is that increasing global uncertainty, particularly in the Middle East. Speaking in Parliament when she was handing down the budget, Treasurer Rita Saffioti described it as the shifting tectonic plates of the world's economy.
The unpredictability and ever-changing nature of the conflict has created uncertainty in the WA economy and our community. Our job as a government has been to cushion Western Australian households and our domestic economy from the impact of these fast-moving plates.
And the way that the WA government is planning to do that is through a couple of different measures. In the short term, they are giving every Western Australian with a driver's licence $100 to address the rising cost of fuel. They're also extending student assistance payments, a third round of that up to $250 for every student enrolled in WA schools. That is on top of lots of money to address some real pain points here in the West. There's $4.7 billion to try and increase housing supply, and $9.1 billion to grow the state's health system and improve access to those health systems.
And Kian, the other states and territories are looking on jealously at WA's GST deal. What's the mood in WA about that, and what's the Treasurer had to say?
Well, look, WA and the Treasurer in particular continue to be very parochial about that deal. The Treasurer spending quite a bit of time today still defending that arrangement, saying if that money wasn't coming into Western Australia's coffers, the government wouldn't be able to build the economic infrastructure, the roads, the ports, the things like that, which underpin not only WA's success, but the nation's success with all the taxes and royalties that accrue from those products. Here is what she had to say when she was asked how other states would react to this budget.
I hope they say thank you, because we're giving them $2 billion.
I don't like the Treasurer's chances of receiving that reception from her colleagues around the country, but she does say that WA is continuing to give about $2 billion to the other states in GST royalties alone, compared to if it was divvied up on a population share. And conveniently for anyone who is looking for some more information perhaps about the WA government's position on just how good the state is to the rest of the country, there's some figures in here which say that the state contributes about $36 billion to the Federation. It's only one of two states, the Treasury Office says, which makes a positive contribution to the country. New South Wales, the other, although much further behind. So it's been a long time since this deal was struck, but it still remains a very hot button issue, particularly here in the West.
And thanks so much for your generous contribution this evening, Kian Burke there in WA.